It's our 100th episode! Woohoo! Hi everybody and welcome to our 100th episode of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're taking a look at the join method on arrays. And simply put, it just takes an array and joins together everything into a nice pretty little string. You want to see how it works? Let's get started. So simply put, the join method on arrays, which I've highlighted here on line 7, takes each element of the array and puts them together into one long string separated by whatever argument you put in as the join argument. For example, I have a listing of cards here, my 2 of hearts, my 3 of diamonds, my ace of spades, and my king of clubs. And by using this join method here, it's going to basically say, okay, I'm going to build a string. I'm going to start out with 2H because that's the first element. Then I'm going to put a dash, then a 3D, then a dash, then a AS, then a dash, then a KC. But no dash at the end because there's no element that is following the KC. So what I should end up with is a 2H, 3D, AS, KC with dashes in between 3 of the elements. Well, in between all 4 of them, basically. Let's go to Node. Let's take a look at it. Let's type in, let's actually go to Node. Let's type in node join. And yep, there it is. I got exactly what I expected. 2H dash 3D dash AS dash KC. So can that be any string? Of course. You wouldn't say the Virtuoid in between for the join. Let's save it off. Let's go to Node. And as you can tell, it put the Virtuoid, so it can be any string on there. Could it possibly be no string? Well, let's find that out real quick. Let's completely take out the string of the join, of the argument. Let's save it. Let's go to Node. Let's type in node join. And aha, by default, it will put a comma in there. So is it possible to be able to use it without an argument or to concatenate everything together without anything in the middle? Well, of course it is. If you go up here and give it not a blank string, but an empty string, you save it. Let's go to Node, type in node join, and there you go. All of them concatenated together into a simple string. Well, one more thing I want to take a look at here is let's go back to our code. Let's put our dash back in there. What if it's a complex array, like this array? As you can tell there, I now have objects for each one of my elements. So what's going to happen now when I try to join those objects together? Well, let's flip over to Node, and we'll clear the screen off this time. It's getting kind of big there. We'll go to node join, and look, I got object, object, dash, object, object, dash, object, object, dash, object, object. Why did I get object, object? Because that's the default string of an object. So if I really wanted to be able to do this, I'm going to need to write my own particular string method on each of the cards, basically doing some sort of mapping on the cards to be able to get a better array that concatenates down, or that compresses itself down to a string and then puts it all together and yada, 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 yada. But doesn't really matter. So the key here is that with that array, with the join method here, it just basically joins each of the elements of the arrays with whatever character is in the middle here. And if there is no character, it defaults to a comma. Now, are some of the key things you can do with join? I'll show you that next. Okay, let's say I want to have this statement here. I shot an arrow into the air, it fell to earth, I know not where. And I wanted to completely reverse all the letters within the string. So not only the letters, but the spaces and everything. So it should end up with E-R-E-H-W space N-O-T space W-O-N-K space I-E-A and yada, 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 all things like that. So we're going to use a couple of technologies here, the split technology, the map technology, the reverse technology, and importantly, the join technology. So let's throw some code up there. Okay, I've got some code up here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split each of the statement into each of the individual words. Now I've covered split in an earlier boring JavaScript, so don't worry about it. But basically all it does here is it will take a look for all the spaces that are in the particular statement in this case, and then split the statement based upon the spaces. So what I'll end up with is an array within words if each element of the array is each individual word, with the 0th element being I, the first element being shot, the second element and, the third element arrow, and all the way down to the very end. Then I'm going to run a map on each of these elements, and I covered the map method also in a previous Boring JavaScript video. You can always take a look at that, but basically it's going to go through each one of the different elements, perform some sort of operation, and create a whole new array. So for each particular word, which I've got word here, I am going to split the word by nothing, by an empty string, which basically means I'm going to split each individual character itself into an array. So for example, the word shot up here will be a 4-element array, the word arrow will be a 5-element array, the word I would be a 1-element array, and so on and so forth. Then I'm going to reverse that array, and reverse basically we'll take the last element and make it first, and then take the first element and make it last, and you just completely flip the array around. Now I have not covered a reverse method on a Boring JavaScript. That's for a little time in the future, so be on the lookout for that one. So the split will give me the array of all the different letters within the word. The reverse is going to reverse all the different letters, and the join, this is where we're going to use the first join. The join is going to join it with an empty string. Now remember earlier we did an empty string on the join. It just joins the elements together. Nothing in between them. So this will basically give me a word that has been turned backwards. So backwards words will end up being all of the words in order here. I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth, I know not where, but all the letters backwards. So it'll be I, T-O-H-S-N-A, W-O-R-R-A-O-T-N-I, and so on and so forth, all the way down to E-R-E-H-W. But the words are still in they're still original order. So what we got to do is we got to reverse the words too. Well, backwards words is an array, so I'm just going to use the reverse method to be able to reverse them around so that the last becomes first, first becomes last, and so on and so forth. So what I should end up with is where not know I earth, to fell it air the into arrow and shot I, except all the letters should be reversed. So to get that final one in there, I'm going to use the join one more time, but this time I'm going to join it with the space to make sure I put the space in between each of the different words. So with all that said, we go to node reverse, and there we go. Rukton wok I holik ot lif tigrik x word not hook I. Almost sounds Klingon. Nah, I don't know. But anyway, but as you can tell there, that was the way that you can be able to use combinations of split, of map, of join, reverse, and all of that kind of fun stuff to be able to get you, to reverse that particular statement there. And I used join with an empty string here to be able to join them together without any spaces, and I joined the space. I joined it with the space here to get the spaces. Now, this is extremely convoluted because I wanted you to take it, I wanted to show it to you basically one step at a time. There's actually a much easier way of doing it. Let me show you that code right now. There it is. I've commented out the original one. I did the exact same thing here with just this statement. Let's go through what's happening here. I'm first of all splitting it with the idea here is I'm splitting it with a empty string here, which will split again by each individual letter. So now I don't know how many letters are inside here, 50 some odd, I guess, I don't know. So it'll give me like a 50-element array. I'm going to reverse the whole thing, and then we'll join with the blanks again. So I'll use the join here to basically reconstitute everything after I have split it up. So all of that I did up there could have been just done with that right there. So if I go over to node and I type in node reverse, as you can tell, I got the exact same thing. So the join statement is really, really fun and wonderful in combination with other methods like split and map and reverse and all that, to do really kind of funky things to put together all the different elements of an array into whatever strings that you happen to need. And that's all there is to the join method on arrays. I hope you enjoyed our 100th video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. If you like this video, and if you like our Boring JavaScript series at all, please click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and put comments down below. I'm really happy to read any kind of comments you place on there. And just thank you so very much for keeping with us through 100 episodes. If you want to see any of our other videos, you can see them here on YouTube, or you can go to www.boringjavascript.com to see all of our videos or see everything that we do at www.thevirtualoid.com. Thanks again for watching our 100th video, and I'll see you later.